thing about winter, people say the gardens are asleep, but they're not. There's loads and loads of colour that you can put to cheer you up during the winter months, especially when it comes down to containers. And now, if you've got a few containers that are left over from summer that perhaps had geraniums in, or marguerites or begonias, and they're now looking pretty empty, why not spruce them up? Give yourself something to smile at when you get home in the evening. I've got two of these chimney pots that for me have done a great deal of work during the summer months. I've now taken out all the old compost, the spent compost. I've put in some gravel stones at the bottom of the pot, because during the winter, one of the main things that's a problem, if the drainage hole blocks up, it fills with water, and of course, as soon as you get a hard frost, it turns literally into an ice block. So I put some stones at the bottom to ensure it doesn't get blocked up and there's a flow through of water, and I filled it up with this gorgeous fresh compost. Look at that, how nice that is. Mind you, I've had this by the radiator for a couple of hours as it froze overnight, but it's together now. And there is a great deal of colour you can get. I went to the garden centre the other day, it was a superstore really, and I picked up these. It was £1.48 or 4 for a fiver, and the little Iris reticulata. Now ideally you should have planted them last autumn, right, and forced them up through your garden, but you can buy them potted, already forced this winter. So go out and treat yourself. Basically, I don't even pot this up. I leave this by my back door, and as the flowers are slowly emerging, puts a smile on my face. Now with these containers, I went to a local garden centre. I picked up for a centrepiece these beautiful golden conifers. It's a Cupressus Wilma, and I paid, what, £4.99 for that, a fiver. I thought that would be pretty good. So I thought, what I'm going to do is use that as a centrepiece in the containers. So, lovely, chuck that one in there. I've got another one over here as well, so they work pretty well. Get that in there as well, and they're quite nice. And how long did that take? A couple of seconds, and then wallop, they look really nice. Infill with some compost around the outside to bed these in quite nicely, and same with this one over here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of colour, and you can pick up, again very inexpensively, a lot of colour to get a great deal of bang for your buck. Check these babies out. The old Prims, a few quid. Somebody said to me, some of them have fragrance and some of them don't. Well, it's true. I've always found that the yellow ones, have a lovely citrus fragrance, and the other colours not so much. But these work pretty well to give instant effect. Literally, by taking the containers, popping them out the pot like that, bedding them in and around the conifer, so the same soil level, all of a sudden you start to get a great deal of colour. Let's put a bright one at the front. Let's think of spring, even though it isn't spring, and you see the difference. Suddenly we're getting a great deal of effect on two containers, and bear in mind it is winter. That will really give a nice bit of an entrance every time you come home back from work feeling that that's the case. So with them all the way around the outside, it looks pretty smart and works at the same time too. I will be picking these up and recycling them too, but I work pretty quickly. It's just the same, chefs do it, don't they? In the kitchen, there's food, there's everything all over the place, but then again planted around. So I'm raising the conifer up so they're all at the same sort of level. I'll tidy it up with a bit of extra compost, but in a short period of time, two containers in the middle of winter look fantastic and fresh. Bring a smile to your face when you come home from work.